Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV. Today, we're talking about meetings and how to make them at least a little bit more effective. Are you ready? Let's get started. Meetings. You've been to some doozies in your life, maybe even this week, and I know I've been to a few myself that seem to be dripping away my lifetime. They don't all have to be that way. Meetings are important and we need to make them more effective. Part of our job as a leader to do that. And so I want to share with you one idea today. There are lots of things we can do to make meetings more effective, and I plan to share more of them with you in future episodes, but today just one thing. Maybe a bit surprising, just one thing. And I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks now because a couple of weeks ago I heard for the first time that sitting is the new smoking. I don't know if you've heard this, but there's a lot of people that are saying that the biggest health risk that we face now is that we sit too long, we don't get up off of our chairs. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I don't know if the risks of sitting are quite the same or quite as bad as those potentially that come from smoking, but I can tell you that there's a hint in that about making our meetings more effective. Because think about most meetings you go to. Most meetings you go to, everyone is passive, and they're sitting. So what if we did a couple things to make our meetings more effective? I'm going to give you 3 ways to use this idea. First one is have standing meetings. Yep, if you have your meetings standing up, they will be more effective in some ways. Listen, they can't be super long because we're standing up. And if you keep people standing, they're a little less comfortable. I'm not saying we should make people uncomfortable, but a little less comfort might lead to a little quicker resolution, to a little more focus and a little more pace. Have standing meetings. Second, have walking meetings. I don't do this as often as I'd like. I certainly have lots of walking personal conversations with myself as I walk around, even within my own office, just thinking about things. But I'm of the opinion that if we get people up in the small meetings, 2-3 people, and go for a walk, talking about the issue while we're doing it, we'll get more ideas and better ideas and get some exercise at the same time. The third thing that we can do, you say, Kevin, I can't have a standing meeting. Kevin, we can't leave the building. You can, though, get people up during your meeting. So if you've got a group of people sitting around the table, get them up and move them around. Put them into groups to do brainstorming. Get them to stand up and talk about an issue for a minute or two, then sit back down. Anything to get the blood flowing, to get it out of our butts, into our heads will help. So there are 3 ways that we can combat the new health issue, that sitting is the new smoking. More effectively, we can make our meetings better. And there are 3 ways that doing this makes our meetings better. Number 1 is it speeds them up, because if we're standing, we're not likely to take as long, so it can speed up our meetings. Second of all, it engages people more. After all, isn't that what you want in your meetings, is for people to be engaged? It's easier for them, and it's more likely that they will be engaged in a motion situation while they're walking, while they're standing, than while they're just sitting, wishing they had a donut. And lastly, when we are using our whole body, when we're exercising even a little bit, it tends to help our creativity. So 3 things that people hate about meetings: they're too long, people aren't engaged, and we don't come up with any new ideas. I'm saying that if you get people up, get people standing, and get people walking, you might solve all 3 of those things at the same time. All of that leads us to today's tweet. If you want better meetings, consider getting people out of their chairs and moving around. So meetings are just one of the many dynamics, one of the many skills that leaders must master. And so because of that, for many years, I have worked with and taught leaders the skills to run more effective meetings and facilitate meetings more effectively. If that's a skill that you would like to build inside of your organization by having us come in and deliver a workshop specifically to help meetings get better, then we're here to help. And you can get that help first by clicking on the link below and filling out the form so we can get in touch with you. But if you just want to think about meetings as one of the leadership skills, then in leadership workshops that we teach all the time, we spend at least a little bit of time talking about meetings. So if that intrigues you, but you don't want a whole session on meetings, then you might want to consider joining us for the Bud to Boss workshop for new and newly promoted leaders, or the Remarkable Leadership workshop, most often for leaders that have been in their roles a little bit longer. Both workshops available around the country and to bring into your organization. Both workshops highly practical, highly interactive, highly engaging, and fun. If you're interested in either of those for the meeting component or anything else, click on the links below. It'll take you to more information. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to talking to you on our next episode.